Hi there, Vibe Gardeners. Welcome to another edition of Vibe Gardening Informed Edition, where we're going to be showing you guys how I'm going to be donating these to the local food bank, food gatherers here in Ann Arbor. With that said, let's go. All right, guys. So if you've been following along with my channel, you'll notice that I have set up a whole link here called Gardening for a Cause, where we're going to talk about how to donate your own garden goods for the local food bank. So here for me in Ann Arbor, Michigan, it's going to be the food gatherers. So below, I have set up a link here, which is going to talk about how to donate food to your local food bank from the Michigan State University Extension Program, and where it goes into the basic rule of thumb for donating your produce to local food bank. And so the main idea here is that if it's something that you will buy from the supermarket, it's fair for donating. But if it's overripened, bruised, insect-infested, or any of that, you really shouldn't consider giving that to your local food bank. Even though there is that Good Samaritan law, that the act that they have documented on their website, in that you'll be basically void of any criminal charges if you donate something to harm someone, still be mindful and donate something that you yourself would consume, because that's the point of donation, right? You want to give it to a place that will take use of it. And if it's not good for consumption, make it into compost, if you will. And the idea here is that they really list a few things you want to be careful here. First of all, make sure, like I said, make sure it's good quality produce, and make sure you handle the produce with care to make sure that you're not going to potentially expose someone to anything dangerous. Make sure you got clean hands, or if you can't guarantee that, put on any food safe gloves. Also, at the same time, too, you want to make sure that when you're storing those produce away, you're putting individual produce species and types into their own containers and not intermixing those type of produce, because just in case there's allergies or anything like that, you're not exposing the recipient to any of that potential problems. Just be mindful of that. And so finally, too, you want to make sure with your local food bank that they can accept food and what type of food they can accept from you. For me, I've already double checked with food gatherers, which they told me they do accept fresh produce and they'll accept basically anything. And like my, I'll link right there with the thumbnail here. I'll link for you guys the episode on gardening for a cause, where I talked about what are the best produce that you can produce from your garden for food banks. So this time around, I have a bunch of lettuce, baby lettuce style, and I have parsley, cilantro, and basil that I'm ready to donate. So I'm going to show you guys how I'm going to go through it. And so with that said, here we go. So here, as you can see, this is the lettuce tote from my Quick Start Hydroponics 101 here. And this right now is ready for harvest. As you can see, the leaves are approximately about well over 6 inches long now, which is the prime time for harvest. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in its coriander to make sure I see how much I have. And then I'm going to also use this pruning scissors here that I got, and I'll link both everything here below in the description section on what to get. And also I'm going to be using these produce bags here. Once I see how much I get, I got these in on Amazon, because apparently local grocery stores don't carry these anymore, which is a absolute shame, because they used to do that and it's very useful. And well, here we are. So Amazon offers them at a pretty good rate. I think about 3 to 4 cents per bag at these rates, according to the website. So yeah, I think we're ready. So now with the clean scissor here that's being properly uh, disinfected, and my hands are washed with soap. Make sure, like a CDC said, wash your hands for 20 seconds with soap to make sure to clean off any germs. And generally speaking, what I would do with these, when in a normal situation, I would harvest all the leaves from the lettuce and go from there. But the thing here, as you can see, is that these are the mature ones, and then I had to start the second batch of seeds later on. So some of them, as you can see here, are not as big. And to favor a more uniform harvest next time, I'm going to do a common harvest again technique. I'm going to only harvest the biggest leaves that are ready to go around the edge, outer edge of the plant, and let the inner crown of it grow with the rest of these little ones. So that way I'm going to have a uniform harvest. But in reality, when you usually do that, it's with something like my spinach you see over here. These guys, but because of how fast to harvest the lettuce, it doesn't make sense to really spend all that time and do come and go again. But like I said, this time, trying to make it uniform, I'm going to do that. And so here we go. So as you can see right here, this one is quite mature. I'm going to basically clip off all the outer ones. And here we go. All right, guys. So we're done our harvesting, and this is how much lettuce we got coming out. This should be able to be at least, I'm guessing, 2 to 3 servings of lettuce. And that should be good. I'm going to be able to just put this in the produce bag, and we should be able to donate these. All right, guys. So after all that, I bagged it up into these bags, and I don't know if you can see here, I put lettuce with a black Sharpie at the bottom so that you guys can see, they can see what it is. As you can see here, I was able to produce about 2 servings of lettuce here, and for this one harvest. So every tote will give you 2 of these. And from what I learned from the local farmers market, you want to trap some air in here when you tie up these bags so that the lettuce doesn't get crushed along transport. It's going to help them stay more desirable for consumption. Remember that, just keep a little bit of air in there. All right, guys, now that we're upstairs, you can see that this is my hydroponic system upstairs. And it's got some cilantro back here, definitely ready to harvest. Parsley, also ready to harvest. And the basil is in another system in my office that I will be harvesting from. The main thing that we want to make sure here is that we're only harvesting about between 1/3 and 2/3 of the plant, or we're going to end up killing it. As of right now, I do have a lot of seeds for these, so if I accidentally harvest too much and they end up dying, it's not a big deal, but it will definitely set back my schedule, obviously, when I do this. And so again, make sure that your pruning shear is clean and ready to go. And we're going to start with cilantro and then move on to the parsley. Let's see how much we get. All right, guys, we see cilantro got its overdue haircut, and it is currently about, I would say, enough to make about 2 fall or so, but I think it's going to be able to fill one of these bags for cilantro. So quite a good haul. All right, the parsley also got its haircut now, and that's everyone that needs a haircut. So obviously I produced a little bit less parsley than the cilantro, but it too should be able to be a one nice serving to a family that wants to cook with it. All right, guys, this is my often not shown hydroponic monster here. This is a basil plant that I've been basically growing in my office since February last year. Now it's January. So this thing has been here for 11 months and has yet to bolt. And honestly, I'm probably gonna have to do a deep dive into this in another episode, but I'm gonna try to take some leaf off this thing because it is absolutely, I don't know, it's chaos right now. So, well, here we go. All right, guys. I don't think I made that much progress on this, but considering I got about this much already, which is about probably more than 1 bag already, I'm gonna have to give up. You guys have any idea on how to shape this thing at this point, or what I should do with it? Because I really don't care if I even just give up on it by this point. I don't know what to do with it, but hey, go to harvest. Someone's gonna find this awesome. All right, guys. So now we've seen the harvest I've done. So to summarize, we got 2 bags of lettuce. We got ourselves cilantro, parsley, and basil from that monster hydroponic system I have. So that should be able to delivered within the next 12 hours because it's evening. And they open 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. And so this is how you donate to the local food bank. And this is what I'm delivering. And I said I'll be doing it. And here we are. So hopefully that's going to inspire you guys to grow a row through local food banks and put it to local hunger. So with that said, keep gardening and fighting hunger. Let's go.